All right, let's kick this off. Welcome to our team call for Wednesday, November 7th. Before we introduce our guest speaker, and Jessica, I didn't ask you for your accolades and all your fancy things, so you'll have to tell that and your story, of course. But do you guys have any recognition that you would like to do tonight? Any shout outs?
I do.
Go ahead.
I want to shout out my badass coach, Haley, for hitting Success Club fast AF this month after just having a baby and jumping back into the game and rocking it.
Literally 14 days ago, she had a baby. So Haley, I have Anna's hopped on this call and the last leader call. I'm so glad you shouted her out. Super awesome. Was there anyone else? I feel like we had a couple rank advancements. All right, if you guys think about them, let me know. So there's a couple things I want to tell you guys. Obviously, and hopefully, you know that all the challenge packs that are priced above $150 are $20 off this month. So I've been really following up with everyone that has pretty much said no. I had 60 applications from 2018 of people filling out my boot camp applications. And of course, I emailed all of them. I messaged all of them. And this is a really great month to let people know, of course, about the $20 off, but to get involved now so that they can get a program under their belt and continue to do that through the holidays so that they're ready to go and help other people for the new year. So don't feel like you have to wait until the new year to promote helping new coaches. Don't feel like you have to wait until Transform 20 comes out. This is a great time to help people get their business going and at least go through our 5-day quick start and our coach training. So I just wanted to tell that. And something else I didn't notice, but Energize is $10 off with a challenge pack. So I've been adding it to the cart and they get $10 off. So that's also an awesome promotion. The holiday remix group, our Wellness Warriors, I'm so excited that there's so many of you in there. I don't know if you noticed or not, but starting this past Monday to next Monday is prep week. So there's some posts in there. Today's was really fun. So it would be, there's 271 invites out, probably even more than that today. That was what we had yesterday. And there's a lot of people that have been invited by the admins that haven't actually accepted the invite. So if you're an admin and you're in there, I would go back in and hit resend on the people that haven't signed up, accepted the invitation and logged into the tracker, I guess, not signed up. But there's only 120 of us active in the group, and there's a ton of invites out. So just make sure you follow up. And if you need some help with that, just let me know. The other thing I want to say about that is, so I kind of touched on what this holiday remix group was going to be about, but I did outsource someone to create content for it. So there's a bonus guide. So make sure you guys are telling your people and yourself when they're in the app and they click the little group area, there's an info and files section at the top, and there's a beautiful holiday guide. It has tips, it has recipes. And so what I've been doing is I've been kind of dangling that as a carrot on my Instagram stories to get people excited for what they're going to get. We've never really done a holiday group like this, and the content is really great. It's been fun to watch. We only had 9 people comment on the post for today. So if you're in that group and you plan to participate, hop in there. Today's question was, what's your Thanksgiving outfit going to be? And a bunch of girls shared cute sweaters, and Erin shared this adorable bathing suit because that's how she of course she's going to wear a bathing suit. No, I'm just kidding. So just make sure you guys follow up with those people so that you get them in there. So here's my announcement for you guys, and then we're going to hand this over to Jessica. And Jessica, I wanted to open this up to you and your team if you guys wanted to do it, and you don't have to do anything, but you can participate. So this morning I walked into the library, and I'm always looking for signs from the universe that are personal development. You guys know I'm a PD junkie. And I usually have Nixon in the library with me, and today I didn't. And I went over to the news section. And the graphic designer in me, this is the exact same way I found the book You Are a Badass before it was ever popular, is the title just jumped out at me. And it was this, you can't tell how like pretty pink, blue, and yellow, but this cover just like jumped out at me, and I was like, need that. And so I'm the first person at the library to pick up this book because it just launched a couple weeks ago, and it's called Choose Wonder Over Worry. And it's not even the title that got me, but I always read like what the book is about, and it's Move Beyond Fear and Doubt to Unlock Your Full Potential. And my inbox has been inundated with people who are scared to coach, and people who don't know if they're going to succeed, and people who are afraid of the holidays. And right now, I've been sick for 7 days. So when everyone's like, I'm super sick, I can't start, I'm like, now is when you need the nutrition and the support and the, you know what I mean? And so I basically was just sick of everyone's BS this week. And I picked up this book, and I am already halfway through it. And I said, this is what our free group for December is going to be. I have already created 43 days of content for you guys. So if you guys want to follow her on Instagram, she's super fabulous. Her name is Amber Rae, R-A-E. That's the name of the author. And my goal is to basically help people rewire their mind and to start live a better, more positive life and release their self-limiting beliefs. So this is going to be the free group that I will say it loud and clear, anyone can invite to. No one needs to buy anything. It doesn't matter. The only stipulation is I don't want them, if they're working with another coach on another team, we're not going to go there. We don't want to step on toes. I personally created a Google form for my people today. You guys don't have to fill that out, but I want to start to make a list because here's my goal. These are the people that don't want to commit to a boot camp. These are the people who want free, and I'm going to help them change their life from November 23rd to January 1st. So, did I say 43 days? No, that's not 43 days, right? I think I told them 43 days, but that does not make sense now I'm thinking about it. November 19th to January 1st is like 23 days. No. Oh my God, is it 43? I'm sorry. I still don't feel well. But I asked Google and it did the math for me. So yeah, 43 days, that makes sense. And so I went and I basically went to Amber Rae's Instagram and I screenshotted all of her amazing content that goes along with this book. And every day is going to be a mantra. Every day we're going to be journaling. And I just want to help all these people who feel like their fear is winning, just get out of that rut, and we're going to start the new year fresh. My goal is to help, and I asked on my questionnaire for the people that want to join me if they just want mindset help, if they want nutrition help, or if they want fitness help. So that's kind of like an easy way for me to lead into more conversations with them. And I'm just going to be blabbing it all over my social media as a free workshop. And I'm naming it Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. So that rather than doing like a sugar detox like we did now, I want to help people with the mindset stuff going into the new year. So I will post that in the team page after. The content is so fabulous. Everyone should seriously read this book. It is so good. I think it tops You Are a Badass, but that's just me. Okay, so now that I'm all crazy and excited, I get to introduce Jessica. Here is my introduction for how I know Jessica and what she means to me. So I've been with my coach Liz for 5 years, and when I signed up in 2013, there was this really close group of leaders, and we're still all super good buddies. I would say like 99% of us are still around, and that's rare. So a couple years goes by, and all of a sudden this Jessica girl pops up, and she's crushing it at the top of the leaderboard. And of course, like me being the Success Club leaderboard creeper that I am, I'm like, who is this girl? And I come to find out that she works full time, has a toddler, and is getting up at 4:30 in the morning to do her team calls. And it made me feel like this big for a second because I'm like, I will never wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm a go-getter. Like, this girl is totally trumping everything I ever thought about a go-getter. And not only that, but she also was working in a prison as a nurse. And I just really can't imagine what that is like. I can't imagine how hard it is. And so I started to follow her. And other than her numbers, obviously speaking louder than anything, she's crushing it. I just noticed her passion for health and her understanding of our products. And she's borderline genius when it comes to understanding like how Shakeology helps us. She's done so many amazing videos, and she's really a natural. So I've paired up with her to mentor her in some things and vice versa. And I asked her to speak to you guys tonight. She sent me a laundry list in a text last night. She's like, here's what I'm good at, pretty much, without saying it. She's like, I can talk about any of these things. And I'm like, oh my God, she's so fabulous. Oh, and to add, we also had a baby on the same day. So she also has another little one running around. It's just really incredible what you do, Jessica. So I had asked you tonight, I'm like pulling up the text, to, wait, where did it go? Jessica, do you want to tell us a little bit about kind of how you got into, actually, you told me the other day. Please tell us how you found Liz and how you got started, because it's pretty awesome.
Wow, what an introduction. Thank you. I am so excited to be here. Okay, so this is how my whole Beachbody coaching thing started. I've been a coach now for a little over 2.5 years. I signed up March 3rd of 2000. I always have to do the math in my brain. 16, I believe. Yes. I have to always think back to my first son's birthday. And I had a 3-month-old at the time, and I had a relatively uneventful first pregnancy, except I had horrific low back pain. I had never had back pain before, and I was always very, very active. I was doing CrossFit before I got pregnant and through the first part of my pregnancy, and then I got debilitating low back pain towards the end, and I ended up being on bed rest, which made it so much worse. I thought, after I have my baby, this will go away. Had him, and it didn't go away. It was still horrible, and it was to the point where I could barely hold him, and I couldn't bend over to put him in his crib. And so I ended up getting an x-ray, and the doctor said, well, you have a moderate to severe degenerative disc in your low back. And I said, I'm a very, very solutions-oriented person by nature. And I said, okay, well, what can I do to fix that? Well, you can't really do anything to fix a degenerative disc. Exercise could help a little bit, but you're kind of stuck with it. And at the time, my gosh, all the years blending together, I'm pretty sure I was 29. And I was like, oh no, I do not degenerate yet. I am not old enough to have a degeneration label. And so I made it my mission, I'm going to figure this out. And so literally a few days later, I was on Facebook, and I saw Liz's before and after pictures when she was part of the 22-minute hardcore test group. And she had talked about how she had just had a baby. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that kind of mom bod, right? She had abs and an incredible transformation. So I'm on the West Coast. I'm in California, and Liz is on the East Coast. In Boston, we have no friends in common on Facebook, but I messaged her. I don't know if I told you this part, Colleen. I actually had, a couple weeks before, bought in Shakeology and messaged a college friend who I played softball with, because I saw she was a coach. And I said, hey, I have to have a coach ID for someone. I might as well give you credit for it. I'm buying Shakeology. And, she was stoked. That's all of our dream, right? And so, but she wasn't really talking about the business at all. And she was very beginner. So I reached out to Liz, because Liz is amazing with her words. And she's like, I'm doing this. I just got out of the test group. I have this amazing opportunity for people to, get the inside scoop on all this. And I was like, sign me up. That's what I want to do. But I was very honest with her. I said, I'm going to sign up with a coach account because I want the discount. It was my 3rd time signing up as a coach, because I had done it before just for the discount. And I said, but I have a current account, but I want to work with you. And I will remind you, I had no idea who this chick was. I just saw her abs, and I knew that I wanted them. And so she was very professional with the situation, and I ended up messaging the other coach, and I switched over to Liz. And that I think back to how did that connection happen? Honestly, you guys, I think it was 2 years before that I must have been the random chick on Liz's like friend requests, because like I said, we have no friends in common. There's no reason that I should know her. And it was just because she randomly friend requested me on Facebook that I saw her pictures. So that's really how my whole journey started. And then she had said, you know, if you want to do this coaching thing, do you have anyone who wants to do it with you, do the program with you? And I knew a little bit in the back of my head how Beachbody coaching worked. I had worked as a holistic health coach and had my own business before. And I was like, yeah, I could find a few people. And she's like, okay, well, here's how to, you know, sign them up. So literally before my challenge pack got to me, within the first 4 days, I signed up 4 coaches. And all my mother-in-law, and I think it was 2, I might have had 5 people sign up of my best friends. And I said, hey, check out this chick's results. And I sent them Liz's results. I said, I'm doing this. I really want to get in shape after baby. Do you want to do this with me? It'd be really fun to do together. And of course they said, yeah, that'd be awesome. I said, okay, I need your email address, your address, your phone number, like the list of things we used to have to get from people, and your social security number. I'm signing you up. I didn't even ask them, do you want like this coach account? And Liz was at a conference that weekend, and so she wasn't even like checking or responding to, I didn't really even ask her many questions. I just remember getting a message. She was like, what the heck? Who are you? How did you get Success Club and Emerald? And I'm like, what are these jewels that you're talking about? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And that's kind of been my attitude and mentality since I started. I'm someone who's very much, I run with my energy and my excitement. And I think that so many times in this business, we get bogged down with information. That's happened to me. But that's really how I started and how I've encouraged other people to start. And granted, I'm learning so much along the way, but yeah. And here I am.
You're amazing.
Oh.
I think that like the most inspiring thing for me, especially for someone that has a kid and like, you know, they're crawling on you, and there are moms on this call and on this team who often are like, I'm at home with my kids, like, how can I do it? And it's real, like, you make it look so easy, and I know it's not. But I feel like that's really a skill that we have to learn, whether you have a kid or another distraction or obstacle or obligation. Like, we have to learn how to do this business with very limited time. Like, no one really just has all the time in the world. I mean, even before I had a kid, I mean, I still spent so much time, probably wasted a lot of time in this business. So the thing that I think Jessica's really good at, and that I've asked her, it's just like so unique how she handles her conversations. And so tonight I had asked her to kind of cover a couple different things, but she's going to talk about addressing objections before they happen. So Jessica, want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you guys do me a favor in the comments? I want you to write your most common objection, or the one that you fear the most, or the one that frustrates you the most, or the one that you hate the most. I know everybody's going to say money. Yes, it is, right? So perfect. And time, definitely, that's another one. Okay, awesome. So here is, and this is something I've kind of learned along the way, but the first thing that I'm going to ask you to really do an honest evaluation of yourself is, where's your mindset? Do you see the value? Because when I started, I would say, because I knew the money objection was coming, and how many people told Colleen when you started, like, I just don't really want to be I'm not a salesperson. I really don't like selling things. You know, that's exactly what I said. And so I would lead conversations with, I know Shakeology seems a little bit expensive, and so it's planting seeds of doubt. And I don't know if that's something subconsciously maybe that you guys are doing, but what I've learned in the process as I've researched, Colleen said, like, I'm very passionate about Shakeology. I'm someone who So has anyone had any kind of health struggles in this group where you were really, really sick or debilitated, or maybe you struggled with some symptoms that no doctor could figure out, and you spent all this money and trial and error on medications and tests? And so if you haven't been there, I have. And it's something where you recognize that our health is so valuable. You would do anything in that moment to feel healthy, to have your vitality back. And I struggled all through, believe it or not, nursing school for 4 years, where I lost my health, and I was a college athlete. I ate healthier than all of my friends. The doctors that I had a brain tumor, they told me at 20 that I had the hormone levels of a 55-year-old woman, but they didn't know why. And so that was the beginning really of my health journey and learning about natural medicine, nutrition, Chinese medicine, like all these different areas. And so now when I look at Shakeology and I look at the 5 formulas in Shakeology and I break down what's actually in it, it's an incredible value. And so I know going into a conversation that I'm telling my people, especially with the challenge pack, you guys, it's like insane the value that's there. I'm asking them questions, which I hope that you guys know at this point. The best thing to do when someone's interested in working with you is to first ask them a lot of questions, as far as like in 3 months, one of my favorites are, in 3 months, if you knew that you couldn't fail, where would you like to see yourself? You know, and think energy, think digestion, think, if they have a weight loss goal, if you knew you couldn't fail, where would you like to see yourself? Because I think so many times in this market, sorry, you hear my screaming children. So many people think like weight loss and all of their failures, and they're scared to fail, and they're scared, like, I've tried the keto diet and the vegan diet back to back, like they're complete opposite, and I've tried like all these different things and it just doesn't work. I'm broken. And so when we kind of reverse the script on them and we say, think about being successful, if you could be successful in your goals in 3 months, where would you like to be? What are some barriers that you struggle with that have prevented you from being successful in the past? I went to High Performance Academy with Brennan Bouchard a couple months ago, and it was so powerful. And he said, if you give someone a suggestion without knowing what they've tried, you instantly lost credibility. And I thought that was so powerful, because none of us want to be that icky salesperson. But in order to not come across that way, we need to know where people are coming from, right? And so if you have a true understanding of what someone's goals are, what their obstacles are, what they've tried and have that hasn't worked for them, just building credibility and trust with you, because people don't necessarily want to understand you. They want to know that you understand them. There's a huge flip in that, and all of a sudden they're seeing the value without you even trying, because you care, right? And so when it comes to money, if you see and you believe in your heart of hearts that what you're offering them is life-changing and worth so much more than $160 or $220 or $345 if you're recommending the mega pack, if you believe that, then you're going to have much more success. So that's the first thing that I wanted to recommend for you guys. And then in your conversation, so say you've gotten through the questions and you're like, in your mind, okay, I know this person struggled with, I know their goal is weight loss. I know they've struggled with emotional eating in the past and food cravings. I know that their energy is really low. On the question part, if someone just says, I want to lose weight, and it's very, very generic with their goals, please make sure you're asking deeper questions. Okay, that's awesome. How many, where would you like to be in 3 months? Is there a certain pant size you like to fit in? Because we know that it's not all about the number, right? And you start digging deeper with that. So, they want to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months. Energy is low. They're a mom. They work full time, so they don't have a lot of time. And so you respond with, awesome, with confidence. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that information. Based on what you've shared with me, based on your goal of losing 30 pounds, based on the fact that you have very limited time and you have low energy and you've struggled with emotional eating in the past, this is what I recommend for you. Very confident, right? Sometimes there might be two options. Maybe you're recommending Portion Fix with the deluxe pack or just with Shakeology. And that's where your questions will come in. So make sure that you are very confident in your recommendation to them, because if you're at all wishy-washy, they're going to doubt immediately. They're going to doubt whether this is for them, whether you know what you're talking about, whether they should trust you. And all of a sudden they're going to maybe say, okay, well, I'm going to do a little bit more research, because you're not confident.
Can I say something too, Jessica? Because I think you made such a beautiful point. Like you just so effortlessly said that, because you're so amazing. I really want you guys to take their goals and reiterate their goals. And based on your goal of wanting to lose 30 pounds in the next 3 months, I tell them, girl, we can do that together. So recite their goals because you listened, right? Present them and then let them know hey, we're going to do this together. And this isn't in my 30-day challenge. This is going to be you and me working together for the rest of 2018 into 2019. You're going to have access to all my groups together. So it's really pumping them up because you're so awesome and you're going to help them and our products are awesome. So reciting their goals and making that connection of hey girl, we're going to lose 30 pounds. And it's not just going to be from, just working out. It's not going to be, I don't say this, but I'm basically alluding to we're going to do this together, and here's what I recommend. Jessica, too, I was randomly going to say, when you talk about Shakeology, you taught me so much. I believe in Shakeology to the point that I'm I don't need to tell you why. And people are sure, I'll buy it. But Jessica talks about how adaptogens help you combat stress. So if there's an injury or something stressful in your life and someone comes to me, Callie's customer in our Success Club tracker group was saying how they're going through a tough time. I'm girl, this is when you need the nutrition. This is when you need something like Shakeology because you are busy. So it's taking their objection, taking their goal, and basically plugging in our solution. So just wanted to add that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's so powerful to identify that. I would say too, something that I learned. So after High Performance Academy, I got this random phone call to be a part of one of Brendan's underground things called the High Performance Challenge. And so I am going to share something with you from my high performance coach that I invested a ton of money in. And I'm so excited with all the things I'm learning, but he happens to be a personal trainer. And the money objection, I talked to him about it. I'm this is what my team struggled with most. I'd love to get your take on it. And he had the most genius interpretation of the money objection. So after we say, okay, these are your problems, this is my recommendation, here's why, we need to know the difference between prescribing something and selling something. So we are prescribing a solution to their problem. As a professional, which I hope that you both 500, all of you I hope all of you feel like you are a professional, right? That's why people are coming to you. So your professional recommendation based on what they've shared with you is this. That is your prescription. And if they aren't ready for that, it doesn't change their prescription. Don't necessarily water down what you know they need because you're scared of the money objection. Can you guys totally hear Liam screaming in the background? Yeah, daddy duty. I'm not sure what's happening. But oh, man. See, this is why I have 2 to 3 sermons of Shakeology a day. The adaptogens. And when you shared that with me, I thought that was so genius. We get offended and we get discouraged and all these emotions attached with when someone tells us no. And we, many times, I've seen a lot of my coaches water down their recommendation and say, yeah, you could just do Beachbody On Demand. And that's true. But if you guys think about it, if you only spend $10 on something and it doesn't work, it's a waste of money. So that's what I tell people. I see this is where you've struggled. I see that you tried this. You've tried working with a personal trainer. You've tried doing the keto diet. You've tried, doing these pieces. This is why what I have to offer you is different, because in order to be vibrantly healthy, you have to have what I like to call the trifecta approach. You have to have exercise in your life. You need to have intentional nutrition, which is different than clean eating, because both of our nutrition programs we customize for the person, right? So you need to have intentional nutrition, and you need to have some supplementation. I'm sorry. You need to have supplementation because of our food supply, because of the stresses that we're in. So without one of those pieces, you're going to feel like you're missing something. And that's why what I have to offer works. And you see like the confidence that I say that with. And so all of this helps so much when people are thinking, when they ask how much it is and you say it's $160 or $220 or whatever your recommendation is for them. What I say at that point is absolutely. So the challenge pack that I'm going to recommend you get started with is, let's use 2B Mindset Challenge Pack. It's $220 on sale for $200 this month, right? But you get $360 worth of product, and that's not even including my coaching. My coaching is included. So just so you guys know, as a health coach, apart from Beachbody, I used to charge $100 a session for my appointments, and that's like the going rate for a health coach. So if you guys don't know what I just did with the $360, have you guys added up individual prices of things in a challenge pack? If you haven't and you don't know those numbers, I highly recommend you know them, because it not only helps convince your people, it convinces you. Like, oh my gosh, they're getting $360 worth of stuff for only $200. And I tell them, this is an insane deal. You're getting an incredible deal, right? And all of a sudden, they're not going to tell me that's really expensive. Like usually they're like, oh, wow, you're right. So the approach and how you deliver the challenge pack price, I've come to recognize, like I hardly ever get price objections anymore. And if I do, which I know this was another part of your question, Colleen, which I don't know if you want me to go into yet, but how do you turn objections into coaching invites? Okay. So have you guys ever done that? Like, have you ever said, when people say, man, I just really can't afford this right now, have you ever used that as a coaching invite opportunity? Anyone? Yeah. Candace, I love that I've seen you and your pretty pink hair on 2 calls today. It makes me happy. Okay. So if you haven't, what if, and this is kind of like, this started in March for me when I read the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, and like changed everything for me, like leaning into fear. So what objection do you fear most? It sounds like in here, and for a lot of coaches, it's money. What if you started to crave and want the money objection? Like after you did like your job in helping people see the value, and someone said, man, I just really don't have the money. We're really tight on a budget right now. And you're like, perfect, door opened. I know. I'm sorry. He's like right outside the door, and I'm not sure what's happening and where my baby daddy is. He's saying you're okay, so that's helping. That's good. Okay, so back, I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, so the door opened because someone says they're tight on money. You guys, what do we do? As coaches, you're on this call because you're investing in your business. Hopefully, your business is making money. And this is an opportunity that you have to share with people. Think about if your coach never shared the opportunity with you to make an amazing income. That's selfish of us to not offer them the coaching opportunity. And so what I usually tell them, I don't get weird on them. I'm genuine. But you have to genuinely believe that what you're offering them can be life-changing. You can say, I totally understand where you're at. I've been there too, or many coaches on my team have been there too. I want to make sure that everyone I talk to who struggles, who is on a tight budget, understands that if you just found 3 people to do this with you, not only is it more fun, but it would completely cover your challenge pack investment. Is that something you'd like to know more about? And like, how easy is that, right? And many people have told me like, oh my gosh, really? I had no idea. So think of it this way, because a lot of times this comes down to our mentality. Could you ever go into a GNC or vitamin shop and say, I would like these superfood products of your top quality, and I would like to work a day in order to pay for them? Sign me up on the roster. Like, obviously not. How cool is it that we have an opportunity where people, like, how many testimonies have we heard? Danielle Natoni, I love her testimony of where she tells the story, if you haven't heard it, of how the first day that she was able to go to the gas station, she's like, you know that little lever thing that you can click it on and like do hands-free gas pump and just fill her up? She's like, I could never do that. I had to pay $1 at a time when I was filling up my gas tank. And I remember the first day I was able to flip the clicky thing and go hands-free, fill her up because of my first Beachbody check. That's what we're doing here in coaching. And so we have to see that and believe it and own that. I really feel like before we can really grow our business and grow our team, we have to understand the value we have to offer people and see that price objection, the true ones, as a door open to really help somebody, because that's what we're here for, right? Any questions with all of that?
Jessica, I want to play devil's advocate. So when you're like, do your awesome thing, what's your kind of, I guess, next step when someone's like, let me think about it? Like, do you follow up in a week, or like, where do you leave that conversation if they're still not making the decision?
Yeah. And that happens a lot too. Or let me talk to my husband, which I think is an important thing. Or let me, this is all awesome. Let me think about it, whatever. Okay, awesome. Is it okay if I follow up with you in a couple days? And then I'll see what they say. And then, there's some people that still won't see it, which is fine. And we have to learn to bless and release those people, because they're going to suck the life out of us. We can't want this for people. We can just offer them the opportunity. And I think that's the hardest part about coaching is, we see the opportunity in so many people and the value for so many people's lives, and they just don't themselves. And we can't want it for them.
So true. I know. I was just telling my leaders, we did a leader call before this, and I do like 3 months of follow-up, and then I usually give them a break, and then I'm like, join my free group. Okay, cool.
I wanted to add something to the person, because I just did this recently and I made a little infographic, but so if you guys were to take, so I rounded it off. So Shakeology for us is $100 as a coach, right? And customer, it's $130. There's 5 formulas in Shakeology. If you don't understand the ingredients and all of that, that's okay. But know that there's 5 formulas in Shakeology. There's a protein blend that provides all the, like a complete amino acid profile for our bodies. There is a phytonutrient super green blend that's loaded with superfoods that help with detoxification, oxygenation of the blood. There's a superfruit antioxidant blend that's amazing for our immune system, which we all need around this time of the year, right? And then there's the adaptogen blend, which is my favorite. If you guys want to learn more about Shakeology, I want you to go to the adaptogenic herb blend and research just the ingredients in that. Find as many clinical trials as you can and share the crap out of them, because things like chaga mushroom and shiitake and maca and schizandra, I used to buy them separately and I paid way more than what I spent on Shakeology. So if you can learn about all that little stuff, it's so powerful for your business. So we've got the adaptogenic blend, and then the digestive component, which is so powerful because of the digestive enzymes that are in there. And then I'm sorry, I kind of nerd out on this, but the probiotic that's in it is specific to survive our stomach acid to get to our small intestine, which is where it's needed. So many probiotics that people buy burn up in the stomach acid and they never do anything. So they're wasting money. So if you took those 5 formulas and you do basic math, which is not my strong suit, but if you divide it by 100, how much are you spending for a month's supply of each of those formulas? $20. Can you go to Walmart and buy even a cheap protein for a full month for $20? Probably not. So when I kind of like had that understanding in my brain, I was like, holy crap, like even from before, this is amazing. And as a customer, even if they're paying retail, that's $26. So still go to the store, a health food store, and try to find a good probiotic, prebiotic, and digestive enzyme complex for less than $26 or any of the other things. So when you understand that, it's really, really powerful. Sorry if I'm totally missing questions. Okay.
No, it's okay.
So
I was going to say, Erin was asking, Erin asked if it's something you're sharing on social media in private combos or both.
So this is where it's hard for me, and I've gone back and forth because like curiosity marketing is what we're taught. And I have kind of built my brand around knowing this stuff because I am just a nut about it, and I have been before Beachbody ever came into my life. So that kind of builds my credibility. But I have shared the infographic on Instagram without the name Shakeology. And I just kind of said, like, this is the superfood formula that I drink every day. Here's the value in it. And then with my, like in my Instagram stories, I actually shared the one that said Shakeology in it because people know, who've been following me for a while, know that that's what I drink. So that one's kind of hard, to be honest, because we want to sell our brand and not necessarily scream Beachbody, if that makes sense, because people are always going to be hesitant to ever learn more if we're screaming the Beachbody brand. So I do share it with my team though, and I share it with my coaches because I think that this is really important for our coaches to understand and see, and our customers to understand and see the value in it. And that's how we build retention, which is really important, right? So that was kind of a mix.
I was going to say, I'm like not even supposed to tell you guys this, but whatever, if Beachbody yells at me, that's okay. I'm in like a survey thing and they're rebranding the look of Shakeology, and it is badass. So like even if a bag slips in a picture now, it's not going to be all like bleh, you know, and they're like rebranding the way that it looks to present basically what Jessica's talking about. So I think it's so great that we're going to be able to like, I don't like, I'm not proud of my Shakeology bag because it's like makes it just word vomits like sales and protein powder, you know? And so I'm really happy that they're remarketing and rebranding that image for what it's going to represent. So
that's awesome.
Oh, was there another question in there? I love listening to her talk on live, so. Erin, you would be so good at that. I can picture you getting your little Instagram live.
Yeah.
Haley, it's gonna be like that brown paper bag, like brown. I'm like so tired. This is like I think my fourth phone call today. So what is that? Like the recyclable brown paper bag? You guys know what I'm saying, right? Okay, let's just leave it at that. But yeah. So yeah, Haley's gonna geek out on it now. Okay, sorry, I'm just like blabbing, but do you want to go on to your next topic that you had? Or do you want me to say it?
Oh, no, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I kind of like led with my excitement, and I want to make sure that I said all my notes. Oh, the other thing, so I've been doing a lot more studying. I have to tell you guys, I told Colleen this is where she's mentoring me. 2.5 years I've been doing this, and I've never run it like a network marketing business. Like never. I've always led with my excitement. I have very high Success Club numbers, but I've always struggled with helping my coaches be successful. And so that's one of my weaknesses that I'm really trying to grow. And so I've been listening to different network marketing podcasts. And I know that I truly believe, though, that there's a lot of network marketing companies, and ours is very unique in what we have to offer people. And I love that. I love that I can stand behind it fully as like an ingredient Nazi and a holistic health coach person. But when it comes to money objections and people struggling with having the money to get started with the business, I think if they truly want it and it truly is a financial burden, how can we this is something I heard on the podcast, how can we get creative with them? So first you need to know how to reverse engineer it for them and show them this is how you get your challenge pack paid for. So make sure you guys know commissions. I didn't know that for the longest time. Like I knew that we got a percentage and I knew I got paid. I knew something showed up when I sold a challenge pack, but I didn't know how much it was for a challenge pack. Do you guys all know that if you use the BB Links app, if you go in there, it'll tell you what the bonus, like what your commission is? If you don't, that's a really great tool to use. And tell your coaches, be resourceful. This is how you can know what the challenge pack will what if you sell this challenge pack, how much you earn. So it's very easy and simple in the beginning to say, just find 3 people to get started how you're getting started. So if someone's starting with the annual all access challenge pack, then all they need to do is find 3 people to get started with that challenge pack. And that keeps it simple, and they will earn back what they invested. But if they have bigger goals, like, do you know and are you confident if your coach came to you and was like, I want to earn $500 this month? Are you confident that you can teach them how to do that? And this is where being a business owner is very important and learning. And if you don't know, I know that Colleen would help you. Or if she, like, I'm sure she's like my business, like, person that I'm like, teach me all you know, Yoda. So I'm sure that you guys already know, but I think that's a very important thing to own when we have people who come to us. Truly financially, I'm on food stamps. I don't know how I can make this work, but I want it so bad. Okay, awesome. This is how we do it. And if they don't have the money up front, then how can we get creative? What can you sell? Like, have a yard sale or a bake sale or a lemonade stand. Like, I've told my coaches, if you did a GoFundMe account because you were really sick, who would support you? Don't think of this any differently. Like, people are supporting you and your business, and you, especially if this coach is struggling financially, people want to support you, most likely, like the people around you and your family, and they're getting stuff from it. This is not like a GoFundMe account where they're just making a donation. They're investing in themselves and they're helping you out. I also had a thought the other day. If someone is truly struggling, then this isn't ideal, but it's just an idea. If someone had a shake and share party, for example, and you pre-sold, how did I do this? To 4 people, 6 Shakeology packets, and you helped them put together a 1-week challenge, and you sold those 6 Shakeology packets for $30 or $40 even. $30, try Shakeology for 6 days. I'm going to give you a clean eating meal plan. I'm going to give you a week access to workouts, and we're going to do this together. You pre-sold that. So that would be $30 for people, $120 that would go towards their challenge pack. And once they get their challenge pack and they order the packets, then they're responsible for delivering those Shakeology packets to those, like, trying to do the math in my brain, 4 people. And then you sign those 4 people up with a 2-week trial for Beachbody On Demand, and you do a clean week meal plan if you want to, because it's already done for us. And then you guys go through the clean week workouts together or a different workout program. But that's how you could get creative with this new coach and help them earn money to go towards their challenge pack. Did that make sense? Like, to say, because I know it makes sense to write, but I've never done that, but it was just something that came to my brain when I was listening to this podcast. Like, how could we do that? That's a way. And then they earn that back. They would just need to buy stuff for themselves because they'd, like, sell all their stuff. But anyways, that was kind of a tangent, but it was an idea. And it's kind of how we have to take ownership that we can be creative, because this is our own business. There's policies and procedures, but be creative and have fun with it, because that's what this is all about, really, helping people and having fun along the way.
Jessica, someone asked, what are your favorite podcasts?
So I've been listening to, like, I'm a nerd right now. I'm Brendon Burchard, because I went to HPA and now I'm doing his high performance challenge. And I have a 1 week, 1 hour long coaching session with my coach, and then I have an hour of homework that I do. So my brain's been there. But recently I've told Colleen this, I've recognized I need to learn more about network marketing business, because that's the power of our platform. And I'm not tapping into it. And so the one I'm listening to, or I started listening to, is, where did it go? The Rockstar Recruiting School with my sister. So well, there she is. Sarah Robbins. That's what it is.
Yeah, I actually made some recommendations for PD the other day on our team page for like my favorite base level network marketing books, like GoPro, her record network marketing business, just like base level stuff for people to understand. Because it's very easy to get caught up in like shakes and fitness and challenge groups and posting and like forget that we're running a business. I was telling the leaders I had a big wake up call for like I thought I was running like this huge business, and I got to leadership and I like started digging in with other like high producing coaches, and I'm like, wow, like I have a long way to go, and I've been doing this for so long. So like learning the business things, most people go, ew, business, and they run away the other way. But at a certain point when you want to achieve big goals, your brain kind of decides like, okay, I'm ready to learn. That's why I tell people never give up. Because in your first year, you're not going to be obsessed with business. You're going to be obsessed with figuring out your own journey.
That's so true.
All right, well, does anyone else have any questions? Because we only have a couple minutes left. I want to respect everyone's time, including yours, Jessica. Hopefully Liam is surviving.
Oh my gosh.
Does anyone else have any questions?
I also wanted to say, because I know I was going to touch on value of challenge groups, because I know you guys have your challenge group coming up. So, oh my gosh, big kid. So, I think that the perspective of like what makes us different, you have to know why you're different than Weight Watchers, why you're different than all these diets, why you're different than the gym, why you're different than a book, why you're different. We as coaches, we're the middleman. So if you think about like how many people read a book of like healing your gut, or read a book about losing weight, or read a book about something, or go to the doctor and the doctor says you need to reduce your blood pressure, here's a list of lifestyle changes that you need to make. And people go home and they don't do anything, right? Or it lasts for a day or a week. You are the person between the prescription and the results, and that is so valuable, because like I said before, any money you spend, anything that you do is a waste of time, and it's a waste of money if it doesn't get you results. We know that our programs get people results when they do the program. So I think being upfront with, I know, it's just he's exercising his lungs. So
I just can't stop laughing because he's making it sound like he's dying. He's probably just
this child is like so strong-willed, and he doesn't cry, he like screams. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so like knowing that is so valuable to the person you're talking to is important. And then I would say ask yourself if you're being desperate for people. The way that Brendan got me to spend $6,000 on this high performance challenge, which I'm only being upfront with you because it was such a huge, scary thing for me, and I'm so excited that I did it. But the only reason he did, or the reason that he like hooked me, is because in the beginning, this person contacted me and said, we noticed you and we want to interview you for something. Not everyone is allowed, like not everyone is allowed access. Not everyone's invited to be a part of this. Would you like to be a part of the interview process? Okay, I'll talk to you for an hour. Okay, well, you have to watch this webinar first. Let me know what you thought about the webinar. Oh, I thought it was really cool. Okay, now there's another interview process to see if you qualify. And then after that whole thing, it was, congratulations, you're what we're looking for. We'd like to offer this to you. And it really made me realize if we had more of that mindset of we don't want to work with everybody, right? Because we don't. Some people are not worth the commission. If we have more of that selective mindset and we put that out there, like I noticed you, I think you'd be really amazing at what I do, or you'd be really amazing for this opportunity, or you'd have really amazing results in my program. Would you mind if we set up an interview? What, like, I don't know if anyone already uses that process, but how, like, I think for me, if someone approached me with that, I'd be like, okay, like, what is this special secret thing that you're doing? And you notice me. Wow, that's cool. You know, it makes all of a sudden that person's valued, and then they are convincing you why they should be a part of what you're doing. That's what I was doing to Brendan. Like, this is why I should end up paying $6,000 to be a part of this thing that I don't even know about, but I know it's going to be amazing. And so that was a big learning moment for me. And I was like, well, why don't I use that? You know, so that's something that I've been learning myself, and I just wanted to pass on to you guys because I think it could really help.
I love HPA was life-changing. I still open my HPA book all the time, and I've also hired Brendan's mentors and spent the money, and it's awesome. For everyone that really reads and dives into that high-performance habit book, I know that you'll be here 10 years, 15 years now with us. I know you will. All right, Jessica, well, everyone loves you dearly, and I hope I get to see you in a couple weeks, Thanksgiving weekend. I'm coming to your part of town. And really, thank you. I appreciate your time. This was so helpful. I think my favorite thing was like prescribing a solution, so thank you for sharing that with us. And what you just said at the end, you're the person between the prescription and the solution. And that really is the difference of what we do. So, thank you.
Thanks for having me. This was fun, guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.